Howdy folks and welcome back to Scryptar Script. It's the 31st of January 2017 and I'm your grateful host, Scryptar. Who else would it be? So it's about time for an update, I think. We started in 2017 and as usual on YouTube in January, February, March you'd see a huge drop in views and earnings and subs and all of that. I was up to 199 subs, I'm down to 197 again. So we're there, we're at the 200 mark, but we didn't make it in December and I'm pretty sure we won't make it in January because that's pretty much over. I'm not even sure if we make it in February, that's just how this works and I think I have to get used to that. I see that from pretty much every other YouTuber out there and I'm following quite a few of them that actually give you those updates, like Nerdcube does and Arumba does that. Yeah, stuff like that. Speaking of Arumba, Arumba is currently doing a Teach the Other YouTubers Everything I Know series, sort of, well, during this year somewhere. I'm trying to get into that, I'm trying to see if I can join that and do some collabs with Arumba, maybe do some Hearts of Iron, or maybe just do some general podcasts, I don't know, I have no idea, we will see. Maybe it helps, maybe it's fun. I'm pretty sure it's fun. I mean, that's one of the guys I definitely admire. It took a lot of influencing from his side on what I do, especially in Hearts of Iron and games like that. So, but that's in the future, probably far future, somewhere in 2017. Let's have a look at what's going on currently. Number one, where is it? There. Current schedule list. Looks a little bit confusing. At least I'm back to a regular bi-daily thing on my 9 PM slot. I'm pretty much scheduled for Sky Factory because I like doing that. It doesn't look that great on views, but you know, that might change. Sky Factory 3 is pretty new. It came out on the 1st of January or on the 4th of January or something like that, and I immediately jumped on that. Bendilin, my co-host of that series, now finally started his own channel. You can check that out. If I don't forget it, I put it into the description below. Otherwise, you just check my featured channels. He's on top there because he's my real-time friend. So that's what I do, right? That's what you do. You will also find him in my liked video list. So that's probably the easiest to spot him because that playlist is public. Ark. Let's start with Ark. I think that's a good idea. I wanted to do an episode today for tomorrow. As you can see, that's this spot, and this is what I wanted to do. I don't think that's gonna happen. This has been going on for ages now. So tonight we had the big update with the sheep and the hair cutting and all of that. And that downloaded and stopped in the middle of the night saying, that's just not enough space on my hard drive, which was true. I mean, this hard drive is a 256 megabyte hard drive that basically is only Ark and downloads, which means updates for games and Windows and all that stuff is on there. That's just that. And it said it was out of space, so I finally moved Ark to my slower but way bigger hard drive where I do my recordings and stuff like that. And now it's finally updating again. So the remaining 4 GB updated, and right after that it jumped into Steam Workshop. Yay! Happy days. This will go on for a while. When this is done, my window of recording opportunity for the day will have ceased until 10 PM. And if I do it at 10 PM, I will be sitting until 4 AM in the morning. Because I haven't, you know, prepared anything, because I couldn't prepare anything. So that's probably not going to happen for tomorrow. We might have another World of Warships episode instead. This is upcoming. See this? Conan Exiles released today, and you already can go on YouTube and you will find Mazion and Chickenbone and Slipgator and some of the other great names doing episodes on that one. I do want to do this as well. Bowden has already recorded his first one. Mortuary just bought the game. So the crazy folks are going to get a server set up for this pretty soon, and we're going to do this. This will be a 6 PM episode. This will be on this time slot somewhere, with the other one still being Ark. So we will move Sky Factory, that, over here, to 9 PM. One of these series is going to stop fairly soon. It's either Great War, because we can't do anything anymore, or it's Colonial Uprising, because we either lost or we won. It will happen pretty soon. And then Sky Factory will move to that time slot. And probably the other Hearts of Iron series will also end relatively soon. There is a new game coming out called Real Politics with a K. You can Google that. Looks a little bit like a crossover of Europa Universalis 4, Hearts of Iron 4, something like that. It's definitely the same kind of game as those two. I'm gonna see if I can get a key on that, otherwise I will probably just buy it anyway. And do a little series on that one. That looks to be very promising, and I think we are currently where? Colonial Uprising is Series 7 for Hearts of Iron. I think there is not much of a replay value in this, even if you mod it. It's quite nice to have it modded, and it's fun to play modded, but in the end, the gameplay doesn't really change, right? And unless you put something really crazy in there, like something that changes the game to a Cold War era or the Great War as we're doing currently. But even then, it's pretty much the same game. And once you know how to play it, as long as you play single player, or at least against the AI, even if you do multiplayer with multiple people, there's not much replay value in that. It's still fun, and I'm still gonna play it. For sure, and if there's any amazing updates, we're still going to get back into that and test those. But for now, I think we're pretty through with Hearts of Iron 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments if you want to see more, if you have a mod that you do want me to play and portray on YouTube because you haven't found it anywhere else, or whatever you found is just not up to your standard and you think I can do better, then yeah, sure, just put it in there, we will see what we can do. Bendilin's still up for it, Tank is still up for it, we can do it, sure. But I want to try Real Politics on one of these time slots, and then obviously Sky Factory on the other. When Sky Factory is done, we'll probably jump into Project Ozone, what is it, 2 or 3? Which is the same, it's sort of a Skyblock series, it's different mods, some of them are the same, End.io and that stuff is in there. What else? Storage drawers is in there, but some of them are very different. The whole Botania thing is in there, and I don't think we have that in Sky Factory, or if we do, I won't touch it because that's too complicated. I'm a Minecraft noob, you might have noticed, so just saying. So Minecraft will go on for a while, Sky Factory, and then an additional project over here in the 9 PM time slot with Real Politics occupying the other. That leaves one slot for Ark here and one slot for, what's it called? Conan Exiles, that thing. Just leave that here. One slot for that over here. So we will do this for Ark. Now, if you remember, let's look at the confusing thing that we did in January so far. Yeah, this is weird. We jumped between different things, and then we started the Patreon server where I said we're not gonna do much on that one, but it was just too much fun to not do it. But I also didn't really want to show off all the things you could do in Extinction Core. Can't really tell you why, but I can give you a hint. We're gonna consolidate some of these series. I'm effectively stopping Mystic Arc. Reason being this. I basically had to delete some mods to get the update going, because to move the game to a different drive while there is an update pending, you can't do that. So I had to make some space first so the update could continue. Then I could move the game to the other drive, and then I could restart Steam, and now the workshop is updating like crazy. So I had to delete Mystic Arc and some other mods. You can have a look here. I am currently subscribed to 36 mods, just for Arc. And some of them, like Extinction Core obviously is quite big. Castle Keeps and Forts and stuff is big. Resource Crops, even Stargate Atlantis is getting big with all the updates. There is a fishing village now on the center island. Yeah, that's the thing, Stargate Atlantis. We're gonna have a look at that probably on the Extinction Core Patreon server. Arc Advance is quite big. So, well, as you just have seen, we have 5.5 gigabytes of mod downloading. That's, yeah, that will still take a while with that speed. I mean, it is throttled, yes, you can see that. If I take that out, it goes up to 900, but then I can't do YouTube. My emails time out and all of that, so I have to throttle it to like 90% of what's actually going through my line, and that's just not much. That's just the way it is. Yeah, so we're not gonna do Mystic Arc anymore. There's not really much going on that server. For us, it would be a lot of building now, and then if I look at the creatures we could tame, they are not interesting. We have the Resource Crops boss, and we tried some of the Mystic Arc creatures. They are quite nice. But really, I think they are way too confusing, and the scaling is not really right. Most of the Wyverns that I would like to tame, they just really suck. That's just, there's no way around. They suck big time. No HP, no damage, no speed, or if they have speed, they have a turning radius like every other Wyvern, so you can't really land them anywhere once you get up to speed. There's no Dodorexes in there, there's no Broodmothers, and Extinction Core is just so much better. And yes, I knew that before we started this, but then again, Mystic Arc was supposed to be a collaborative server between the Crazy Folks and the Creative Misfits, and it did not really kick off, I just have to say it that way. There are some people playing on there from, you know, both factions, if we could call it a faction. And yes, it's definitely fun, but we're not there consistently. I mean, if you look on Mortuary's channel, if you look on Boden's channel, even if you look on Tank's channel, who has been busy moving home, you will find a lot of playing on the Patreon server. You won't find any Mystic Arc. We're still going to continue construction adventures because I do have some stuff planned. And I do really want to finish that Jurassic Park, at least get 1 or 2 more biomes in, you know, consolidated biomes. We already had beach and river and grassland merged into one, so we're probably gonna do some desert volcano island, and we're gonna do the whole water area, ocean and rivers, all in one, as much as we can. I think that's gonna be it, so it won't be the biggest park, we won't use the whole of the underworld, but we're still gonna continue, it just won't be as frequent, because it's a lot of building, it's a lot of resource grinding, you can't really say due to resource crops, but then again, resource crops is currently updating, I'm happy that it's updating. We're still missing sap and cactus sap there, and we are waiting for resource crops 2, which I already spoiled a little bit. If you go in the workshop into Resource Crops 1 and look through the comments, you will find one or the other picture already. So we will see what's going on there, we will see how long this is running, we will see who else is actually playing on that one. I know Boden is still on there sometimes, and I know some of the others are still on there. It's just not that much going on. But we will start a new server. That's the big news. We will start a new server fairly soon. It will be a Creative Misfit server, which is open to the Crazy Folks, so it will be again a collaborative server, which will then, I think, effectively replace Mystic Arc anyway, because everybody wants to jump on that one. It will be a modded series, obviously. We're not going to go back to vanilla. That's just not happening. Vanilla Arc is boring. That's just the way it is. There's so much stuff missing when you know all these mods, and I'm not even talking about the Super Trank Gun or whatever. That's just the way it is. You know, there's not that much content in there if you have played it for 2 years and if you have 2,000 hours into the game. That's just the way I think. I mean, look at that. 1987 hours. That's that. I didn't even get all the achievements for whatever reason. I don't have the one where I tamed all the creatures, and I know that I tamed all the creatures, the original creatures, like 6 times in my series. Just, yeah, well, doesn't matter. We're gonna jump onto Conan Exiles, and we're gonna jump onto the new Crazy Misfit server, I guess it will be. And we're probably gonna do a big opening there, see what happens. I mean, most of the people are currently at PAX or coming back home or just came back home, so it will be very soon that that server starts. Look forward to it, it will be happening. We'll jump right in here. So for now, I guess we're gonna keep ourselves busy with some more World of Warships and maybe some Dreadnought. I mean, Dreadnought just reset a couple weeks ago. So we're starting from 0, waiting for all the bug fixes and stuff. Some of them are already in there. World of Warships, we're currently doing some missions to get the special ship for the Lunar New Year something calendar thing. I don't know. It's definitely fun. I have my Graf Spee. I'm very, very happy about that. It's a gorgeous ship. I had some amazing battles with that, which I didn't record. And I don't really like, you know, doing the replays and doing after recording commentary. It just doesn't seem... I don't know, it's more like a news reporter for me than doing actual game commentary. It's way more exciting sitting there as a commentator for, I don't know, the Royal Rumble or the Super Bowl and doing live commentary when you never know what's gonna happen in the next 2 seconds, rather than sitting there like, yeah, I know how this ended, I've seen that, it's a replay, let's just make this exciting, shall we? That's something I can do if we would play Banished or Factorio or something like that, where it's not about the excitement but actually the progressing of the game. For these things, especially World of Warships, it's all about the excitement, all about getting your decisions right and doing the right thing and seeing how it turns out, or getting it completely wrong and trying to, you know, survive. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I'm currently starting on the Russian Destroyer line, that works out pretty nicely. I like my new Atlanta build with the new captain skills, and there are some other things I want to try with those new captain skills. Alright, that's pretty much the update there. You see, I have a lot of recording to do this week. Last week my daughters were sick, so I didn't really get that much done when they are sick and at home, because, you know, you have to care for them. It's what you do as a father, and I do that gladly. That's not the thing. It's just, when they are out of the house for school and kindergarten, I actually have 5 or 6 hours of quiet where I can record. I can't do that when everybody's running around me. It's just not my style. I think it's unprofessional to do that. I think you wouldn't like sitting in front of YouTube watching me do something while children in the background are, you know, playing around and screaming and shouting and doing whatever. And no, that's just not what you do. If you want to do that, you go and watch, I don't know, Disney Channel or something. So much for the update. Conan and Ark on the 6 PM time slot, and Real Politics and Minecraft on the 9 PM time slot. I'm probably also gonna move these half an hour later, because when I started this, especially Ark, I was looking around, when is everybody else that's currently doing Ark, releasing Ark? I want to do it on the same time slot. And at the time when I did this, it made sense to me, and they were all, from my point of view, it was 6 PM. So whatever that is in non-European time, in Eastern or Pacific or whatever. But I think that's like around noon-ish in America, and really 70% of my people are watching from the Americas, so America, Canada, that corner of the world. So I have to, you know, cradle to them a little bit. And around noon, I guess you're at work, you're at school, something like that. So once you come back 2-3 hours later and you open up your subscriptions, you will see Slipgator, Amazion, XP Crafted, King Daddy DMAC, Surgeon, Chicken Bone, I don't know, Xizuma, Etho, those guys. And I will be sitting somewhere in between, and then you start watching, and obviously the day only has so many hours, and you have to go shopping, and you have to go, you know, check your children's homework or whatever. So after maybe 2 hours of watching, you can't really watch all that much, and you have to really pick. If I'm not at the top, I'm not going to be the first one you watch. I just fall out of the bottom of the list there. So by moving it a little later, I might be a little more to the top of your subscription list, and you actually see it, especially for those that usually don't have the time to watch. And those guys that don't have the time to watch don't get acquainted to me. And if they don't get acquainted, then what's the use in watching? You know, that's the same I do. If I don't find the time to watch somebody new, then after a week or two I just delete it from my subscriptions, because it's in there, I never watched it, and yeah, why should I have it in there? Why would I want to be notified about something that I don't watch anyway? So yeah, little logic in there and stuff like that. So I'm gonna move that half an hour later, so I will move that half an hour later as well, just, you know, to keep it in sync, 3 hours apart from each other. Someday, when I can actually live off this, I have planned I have planned to release videos every 3 hours. I don't know how many of those slots I am going to fill, but you see, we have some categories set up, like indie and construction sims and RPGs and 4X games. 4X game space and regular 4X, I have that currently separate. I don't know. It's just some dummy categories that I really would like to test. We will see. For now, we stick to those two. We tried 3 slots a while ago with Mafia and Civilization 6. Nobody wanted to watch Mafia or Civilization 6, so that whole time slot just vanished after a while. If I find the time, I might do a 3 PM, my time, release of World of Warships and Dreadnought and those things as soon as this new schedule is really established, and then we can see if that works out, so you get an additional video per day there. But then again, I need to find the time to actually do it. Ark is grindy, Conan will be grindy as well, because it's pretty much the same engram crafting building system. You know, you will see. If you haven't seen it yet, go and watch Mazion. That's a good video. Go and watch any of the others. You know, not picking any preferences here, it's just my personal preference. So that's the first thing I watched this morning. And I guess Real Politics will be like Hearts of Iron 4, you know, just hit record and then hit stop when you're done. There's no resource grinding or anything involved. Sky Factory is already pretty intensive on time. We recorded 3 episodes yesterday, and that took like 6 hours for, well, worth an hour of recording in the end. But then again, Tank has just joined in episode 12, so on Saturday you will see not just the little cloud tank, which we built a shrine for, but actually the real Tanks Gaming tank in-game doing all the great things. Probably. So that's it for now. thanks for watching. I see you out there. I see you on the internet. You see me in the videos. And if you have any suggestions, comments, feedback, you know, put it in the comment section below. Leave a like. That's always very, very helpful. Do subscribe if you find my content interesting, and you know, spread the word. We're close to 200 subs. I'd like to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Sure, I don't mind. If you can make it 10,000, I also don't mind. Then there's more content for you, because there is our Patreon initiative across the crazy folks currently. If you become a patron of any of us, currently it's Mortuary, Tank and me, and you know, you sign up for the right pledge, it's all in the description, you get access to the Crazy Friends community, which is access to our special Crazy Friends Discord. The crazy folks and the misfits are hanging out there, and obviously everybody who is a patron of ours. And you get access to our Ark Patreon server, which you've seen a couple of videos by now, 7 to be exact. And there's more to come. I mean, if we get a Minecraft community together, sure, we set up a Minecraft server. If we get something else together, yeah, sure, that's all in there. You don't have to pay extra for that. So that might be worth something. I mean, if you go and rent an Ark server, you surely pay 10 bucks for renting that server, and then you can play with like 2-3 friends on there. And you have to remember to keep it up to date, and you have to do all the stuff yourselves. You know, if you pay the 10 bucks to us, you get that server provided. There's already a great community on there. You don't have to worry about the mods updating and the servers crashing and the backups and all things. We do that for you. And we will be on there. You can be part of the videos once in a while. And yeah, that's what we do. So, might be added benefit to the same amount of money. That's what I would say. Anyway, that's it for today. For Scryptar Script, I see you out there. Next video should be coming up, well, shortly, I hope. Ark, yeah, maybe it's going somewhere. We'll see how it looks this evening and if I can afford the time to actually do something. There will probably be another Patreon episode then, because I won't get into building, and like I said, Mystic Ark is dead, so I'm not logging on to that one. That's it. See you soon.